On behalf of the MTA Police Department, it is my honor to welcome you to our 2023 award and promotional ceremony. In the event of a need to evacuate this space, please proceed to the exit behind you or the exit behind the podium and proceed in an orderly fashion out of the building. Please listen for further announcements and instructions from the PA system, MTA Police, or building personnel. In the event of an emergency in GCT, you should contact the MTA Police Department at 212-878-1000 or flag down an MTA police officer. Smoking and vaping are strictly prohibited while on MTA property. Thank you. I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the presentation of the colors by the MTA Police Color Guard and the MTA Police Pipe and Drum Band. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by MTA Police Officer James Volpe.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Officer Volpe. Please take your seats. I will now invite our Reverend Dr. Alfred Correa, Doctor of Ministry, Chief Chaplain of the MTA Police Department, to offer the invocation.
Let us pray. Most wise and holy one, as we gather here on this occasion, we recall your goodness in giving us this nation, its constitution, its leaders, and the men and women who defend our freedoms and exemplify our responsibilities. We come to you this morning with grief for our loss of those men and women in uniforms who have died in service, but yet with true gratitude for sharing these your gifts with us. We humbly ask that you will comfort their families in these hours as we pray. We are thankful for the life and work of all MTA Police Department law enforcement officers and its leadership. We know that all things, including advancement in our callings and promotions in life, lie in your hands. Thank you for allowing the families that are represented here this morning to share their loved ones with us in service to the MTA Police Department. May you keep them safe from all hurt, harm, and danger all the days of their service as we celebrate them on this joyous occasion. In your name, we ask this. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Now kindly join me in a moment of silence for our fallen brothers and sisters. Thank you. I would now like to introduce some members of our dais for this morning's ceremony. Please hold your applause until the conclusion of the introductions. To my right is MTA Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Jano Lieber and Chief Safety and Security Officer Patrick Warren. On my left, I would like to introduce the MTA Chief of Police, Chief John J. Muller. It is now my privilege to introduce the Chairman of the MTA, Mr. Jano Lieber.
It really is a pleasure to be with all of you this morning. I want to congratulate each of you and your families on this hard-earned promotion and to acknowledge the great leadership of our Chief of the MTA Police, John Muller. One more round of applause for that great leader. These promotions are not only a recognition of the great work you've already done to this point, but an expectation that you'll continue to deliver for the MTA and for the millions of New Yorkers we serve every day. As everyone knows, policing is not for the faint of heart, especially in the New York region. But that's not an issue for this group. You're here because you exemplify the qualities that we look for in police leadership: integrity, honesty, courage, perseverance. You are role models for your fellow men and women in uniform, as well as for future officers. And your work has never been more important. I was in this room literally yesterday afternoon. Some of you may have seen news reports about it. We were discussing and actually bringing to public notice a very significant and voluminous report from a blue ribbon commission that we impaneled to study the issue of fare evasion, which not only threatens the economics of mass transit in the region, but which I believe tears at our social fabric, that sense of community and shared obligation that animates our lives together in this densely populated region. And we were discussing the role that law enforcement plays in trying to make sure that we walk the right path on this issue, balancing sense of service and fairness and a commitment to equality with real enforcement. We need a strong MTAPD. The governor and the team at the top of our state and our city recognize the extraordinary importance of this institution. The region, as I always say, cannot survive without mass transit because of our density. Twice Boston and Chicago's density, 9 times Sunbelt cities like Phoenix or Houston. For us in New York, mass transit is like air and water. We need it to survive. Now we are in a time when mass transit service is actually functioning at a very, very high level. We have 97 and 96% on-time performance on our 2 great commuter railroads. And I do want to acknowledge the leaders in labor who are here representing all the men and women who labor every day to make that success possible. And the subways are also operating at 10-year highs in terms of performance. People are coming back. The energy of New York, which is you experience in this amazing facility in Grand Central, has translated into a lot more activity in our public spaces, and especially in the subways. But creating a safe and secure environment is integral to bringing the region back to its full potential. So right now, you are part of a somewhat unprecedented all-hands-on-deck effort to really convey that sense of safety and security and community into our transit systems. That means doing things that sometimes are different than pure policing. It means talking to the customers, engaging them so that they see you and feel your presence and the comfort that it provides. You're riding the system. You're talking to the conductors who are the front line along with other MTA employees. Being approachable on the job. I talked to the mayor about this. The mayor of the city of New York is an ex-transit cop. He's got transit policing in his heart. And we always talk about how important those interactions are and how it immediately communicates a sense of security in the system. So I just want to really, what I'm trying to emphasize is the importance of the mission that you have already undertaken and in which you are stepping up to new roles. You are so valued as members of the MTA family. And so on behalf of all of our customers and everybody in management and the entire organization, I want to say a sincere thank you to you. So I'm going to ask for applause for you on that front. Another big thank you to your family and your friends who are here with us today for their support, emotional and moral support. This line of work requires a certain degree of sacrifice for loved ones, not just from the officers themselves, from the families, and we all honor and appreciate that sacrifice, and I hope you will know that as I stand here today. I'm proud of all of you as you take on these new responsibilities. Congratulations on your promotions. Thank you for your service and continued safety and good health. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Lieber. I would now like to introduce the MTA Chief Safety and Security Officer, Patrick Warren.
Thank you and good morning. It's a true honor to be here with you on this important event. It is made even more special by the presence of your families who we rarely see, but we know them, that they are the reason that you can do what you do. So thank you for helping keep this program what it is. Also, many thanks to the folks that put this on today, and it's always special to see the pipes and drum team here. They always make an event that much better. Over the last year, I've observed the professional growth of the MTA Police Department, improvements in conditions across the MTA to include this beautiful terminal we are in right now are nothing short of impressive. Your promotions today are a big part of the are a big part of the process for why you got. They're a big part of the process for why your excellence is achieving so many great goals, and for both the city, your fellow employees as well as for the people of New York. So thank you for your service in that regard. We are here celebrating your promotion and recognizing your many accomplishments and outstanding performance. But I want to point out that while your performance is a big factor in why you are being promoted, the largest reason is the promise of what we believe you are capable of achieving in your new rank. Your promotion comes with the inviolate responsibility to care for, mentor, and lead those who are subordinate to you. Your promotion asks you to look at the challenges that are all around you every day and find solutions for them, even if they're not really your personal responsibility. You are part of the leadership of the MTA, which requires you to be a problem solver, a creative thinker, a can-do operative, an enthusiastic advocate, and a compassionate, fair leader. We strongly believe in all of you and look forward to being at your side as you perform in your new role. Let me also congratulate our award recipients today. You demonstrate what can be done and how to go above and beyond. So congratulations, very impressive. Thank you all for your time, and I wish you all well.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. I would now like to introduce the MTA Chief of Police, Chief John Muller.
Thank you all. This has just been such a wonderful opportunity here to have this ceremony in this beautiful, beautiful, iconic building. And I'm very grateful to the railroad for allowing us to have it here. I'd like to start talking to the folks to my right about how grateful we are in the MTAPD for your leadership. At the helm is our chairman, Jano Lieber. What I want people to understand is I don't get to say yes and make all these things happen unless the leadership team says yes. And that's something that all the families and everyone in the police department has to understand of how supportive you have of a team that is at 2 Broadway and HQ. It's all big picture, lots of things going on, many things, but I'm telling you now, It's been absolutely glorious for myself and our command staff to be able to make pitches and ask for things and being able to move the agency forward. And none of that is done without Chairman Lieber and his leadership team, which is right here. Thank you. So a little bit about the ceremonial unit. Thank you so much. It's really did a beautiful job. So proud to see them. They do lots of ceremonial work all over, but when you see it here, it's really special. Our pipes and drums, the beautiful rendition of the national anthem, all these things, you know, make us feel real special. And it is truly a day for families and you guys who are getting promoted today, which is a very special day. I mean, we give our lives to our business, to our profession, 20 years, 30 years. And so you only get promoted a few times and on occasion, so it's a big deal and something to be very, very proud of for all of you. As far as the captains are concerned, you're stepping up to the next level. Congratulations. You'll be running commands. You'll be directing, and I know both now, Captain DaCosta and Captain Piscatelli. You are well on your way to really being a great part of our command staff to furthering our vision. As far as the lieutenants, the biggest group that we have here today, 17 of them, you play a pivotal role. And when I was thinking about what I was going to say about your pivotal role, I thought about one of my heroes, John Wooden. And I'm probably dating myself. He was the chairman is nodding his head. He was one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. And he coached the UCLA Bruins for 12 years. And in those 12 years, he won 10 championships, which the next closest Division I men's basketball team to do that is 4. So you can see how amazing this was. He had an 88-game winning streak. But as far as leadership is concerned, what I love the most about Coach Wooden is he was very succinct and very short with all of these amazing pieces of advice that he provided. And what I'm going to say to the lieutenants is this: you play a pivotal role. Pivot means you need to stand up your command staff, you need to support your district commanders, you need to help them every way you can, and you need to be able to bring solutions to them. On the same token, you need to support your sergeants. You are the linchpin between the command staff and our boots on the ground, which is absolutely essential. And what John Wooden said was, one of his quotes, which is one of my favorites, is, if you listen to them, they'll listen to you. Because leadership is not a one-way street. It's not do this, do that, do this, do that. Leadership is listening. And that's what we get out of our leadership at headquarters is there's lots of listening goes on. Be excellent listeners. And if you, again, I'll say it again, very short, very succinct, and that was Coach Wooden's way. If you listen to them, they will listen to you. So let's practice what we preach. As far as our detective supervisors coming on, it's a great day. Again, support from the MTA headquarters. We have detective lieutenants, we have detective sergeants to further our mission. We're able to make cases for these positions through Chief Taffy to say, you know, we need more detective supervisors. Supervision is so important today in policing at every single level. It's just two simple things that I learned from one of my mentors in Yonkers PD, Commissioner Ed Hartnett. Keep the cops safe and keep them out of trouble. Because what that does really is it covers every single thing that we need them to do. And again, it goes back to listening, being a servant leader, right? I mean, the greatest fighting force the world has ever known, the United States Marines, servant leaders. The boss eats last, he gets up first, and he does all these things. And when you do that for your people, you will inspire them. It's okay to have direct conversations, but make sure you're always inspiring, always guiding, always teaching. I also want to point out, at the end of the ceremony, if you would, please take a look at our new department flag. So this flag was designed by District 6 Police Officer Starley Sandez. He's a graphic designer, and we're trying to always pull all the multitude of talents that we have from our personnel, because it's not just police officers, they're all people, and they all have great skill sets. So Starley created this. The flag has the darker shade of blue on top is the color blue for New York State. The bottom blue is the color of Connecticut. The stars, there are 14 of them for the 14 counties that we serve. The gold is our commitment in the MTAPD to excellence. And then the blue in the middle, the lighter blue, is the support of police officers everywhere. So if you have a chance, go take a look, because it's something that we're very, very, very proud of. As far as the medal winners, congratulations, great work. We love seeing good work. We see it every day. And I'm glad your families are here to witness it too, because that's very important. I would like to point out that this year and this day, we are honoring our ECOs, our emergency communication operators, and it's very important. They came to work every day during the pandemic, and so did we, and we got a lot of credit for it. And I really look at our communications dispatchers as our lifelines. And they didn't get to work remotely. They came to work every single day. And in the darkest days, just like all of we did, not knowing what was going to happen 2 weeks later if we were going to work and interacting with people. So to acknowledge them today is very, very, very important. They are unsung heroes, and we are grateful, and we're grateful all our police officers. And again, it comes down to, you know, my belief in procedural justice, and that's very, very important. These jobs are great, these amazing work that the MTAPD does, but let's also remember how great they are with customer service and how great they do on a day-to-day basis where it's not cops and robbers. It's simply just extending your hand and helping someone. It's what I like to refer to as the 21-minute rule, or the 10-minute rule, or the 2-minute rule. Whatever you're doing at that moment, drop everything, focus on your client, focus on your customer. For the police officers, that's the person that needs directions, that's the person that's lost. For your supervisors, that's your subordinates. Make time for them, help them grow. Thank you all, God bless.
Thank you, Chief. We will now begin the swearing-in portion of the program. If I could ask Chief Muller to please administer the oaths of office. Those members of service being promoted to the rank of Detective Sergeant, please stand and take your oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do hereby pledge and declare to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the States of New York and Connecticut, and faithfully discharge my duties as in the Metropolitan Transportation Authority Police Department to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Detective Sergeant Kevin Blondell. Detective Sergeant Matthew Fontana. Detective Sergeant Richard Hoy. Those members of service being promoted to the rank of lieutenant, please stand and take your oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do hereby pledge and declare to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the states of New York and Connecticut, and to faithfully discharge my duties as in the Metropolitan Transportation Authority Police Department, to the best of my abilities, so help me God. Congratulations.
Lieutenant Andre Booker. Lieutenant Kelvin Bore. Lieutenant Jennifer Clark. Lieutenant John Echeverria. Lieutenant Anthony Ferrara. Lieutenant Raymond Foy. Lieutenant Matthew Johnson. Lieutenant Michael Lampasona. Lieutenant Vincent Macaluso. Lieutenant Matthew McCabe. Lieutenant Frank Peterson. Lieutenant Valerie Propisnoy. Lieutenant Paul Salemi. Lieutenant Robert Schnabel. Lieutenant Sean Steiger. Those members of service being promoted to the rank of Detective Lieutenant, please stand and take your oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do hereby pledge and declare to uphold the Constitution of the United States, to uphold the constitutions of the states of New York and Connecticut, and faithfully discharge my duties as in the Metropolitan Transportation Authority Police Department to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Detective Lieutenant Michael Burns. Detective Lieutenant Jose Duras. Detective Lieutenant Robert Rao. Detective Lieutenant Edward Russell. Those members of service being promoted to the rank of captain, please stand and take your oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do hereby pledge and declare to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitutions of the states of New York and Connecticut, and to faithfully discharge my duties as in the Metropolitan Transportation Authority Police Department to the best of my abilities, so help me God. Congratulations.
Captain Thomas DaCosta. Captain Jonathan Piscatelli. Promotees, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a round of applause for all of our promotees? At this time, we would like our promotees to please face their families and give them a big round of applause for all of their love and support they have given each of you throughout your careers. At this time, we will begin the award presentation portion of our ceremony. The first award being presented today is the Chief of Police Civilian Commendation. I would like to call up the civilians who are receiving the Chief of Police Civilian Commendation. This is awarded to a civilian for an act of outstanding bravery or heroism, or an outstanding contribution to law enforcement by which the individual has demonstrated the characteristics of personal courage and integrity. Receiving the Chief of Police Civilian Award are Metro North employees Fernando Casanova, Nico Palazzolo, and Eric Rivera, for administering first aid to a trespasser who sustained serious physical injury. The employees acted quickly by removing their belts to be used as tourniquets until emergency medical services arrived on scene.
Same spot.
Fernando Casanova. Nico Palazzolo. Eric Rivera. Also receiving the Chief of Police Civilian Commendation Award is Philip Perazio for assisting police officer Jason Cabrera in restraining a male suspect who is recognized on an MTAPD wanted flyer. Mr. Perazio called 911 and helped restrain the suspect until other officers were able to arrive. Philip Perazio. I would now like to call up the civilians who are receiving the Unit Citation Award. This is awarded to members of an entire unit in recognition of outstanding performance. 22 members of the Emergency Operations Center will be receiving a unit citation for their dedicated work during the COVID pandemic from March 2020 through March 2022. During this time, their dedicated service supported the operations of the MTAPD. Our ECOs stayed on location for days, sleeping overnight to ensure coverage and safety to officers of the department. Accepting the award on behalf of the EOC recipients is Emergency Communications Supervisor Eric Arango. I would now like to call forward those MTA PD members of service who are receiving the Excellent Police Duty Award. This is awarded to a member for a conspicuous act or achievement that distinguishes an officer from other officers while in the performance of duty. Brendan Behan. Jason Cabrera. I would like to invite Phil Perazio back to the podium. Phil assisted Officer Cabrera during that incident. We recognize him for his service. Paola Callejas. Anthony DiFilippo. John Healy. Robinson Hernandez. Daniel Kim. Matthew Ling. Ryan Miller. Daniel Spiteri. I would now like to call forward those MTAPD members of service who are receiving the Lifesaver Award. This is awarded to a member for successfully performing a life-saving act, including but not limited to CPR, first aid, and/or AED skills to aid a person in a life-threatening situation. Liridon Adamaj. Frederick Odat. Connor Colacerdo. Nicholas Giammatteo. Justin Lee. Saeed Mehdi. Brandon Park. Joshua Schnitzer. I would now like to call forward those MTAPD members of service who are receiving the Medal of Merit. This is awarded to a member for the performance of an act of outstanding personal bravery, intelligently performed at personal hazard to life under circumstances, evincing a disregard of personal consequences. Receiving the Medal of Merit Award are Officer Joseph Casal and Officer Darwin Chacon for disarming and apprehending an armed perpetrator who caused serious physical injury to an innocent bystander. The officer's act of bravery and regard of all lives were able to prevent further injuries to innocent bystanders, themselves, as well as the offender. Joseph Casal. Darwin Chacon. The MTA Police Department hosts this award ceremony during Police Week to fully recognize outstanding police work that demonstrates efforts that go above and beyond the daily duties and responsibilities of a police officer. The recipients present today have displayed courage, bravery, intelligence, and in some cases, disregarded personal safety to protect the lives of others. Although these officers are well deserving of their awards, let us not overlook the efforts of all our police officers who wear their uniforms proudly and serve this department with pride while conscientiously performing their duties. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for the members of the department who have received awards here today, as well as all members of the department who perform their duties alertly serving the users of the MTA system. Chief Mueller, please step back to the podium for some closing remarks.
So thank you all for coming. I think this was just such a beautiful ceremony. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the people that put it together, Chief Esposito and his team, Jessica Rodriguez and Lakeisha Kaufman. Thank you so much for putting this all together. It is indeed an exhaustive process, and it should be, because we want the best of the best, and we're getting that, and that's part of that process. I would also like to thank Reverend Correa, who has taken just such a deep interest and jumped into our family with both feet. And he's out there and he's active, and we're very grateful. We love him very much. Thank you, Reverend. So thank all of you for coming. I hope you will enjoy some of the light refreshments we have. And again, thank you very much to CEO Lieber for making all of this possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Before we close, I would like to thank the people who dedicated their time and talents to make this ceremony possible. From our command staff, Assistant Chief Joseph Esposito, I would also like to thank Police Officer Starlee Sandez for his contribution to our awards and program. The MTAPD would like to thank Metro North and Long Island Railroad President Catherine Rinaldi, Grand Central Terminal Director Michael Foglio, Grand Central Station Master Greisley Reyes, and their staff for providing the use of Vanderbilt Hall today. We would also like to thank Metro North's Raymond Peters and MTA Headquarters Adrian Knights and Thomas Daniel for the design and setup of today's audio and visual broadcasts. We would like to thank our own administrative staff, Tawana Fergus, Stephanie Oliver Boyd, Anna Vargas, Shoshana Brabham, Cynthia St. Bernard, and Christine Bishkoff. Finally, we would like to give a very special thank you to Metro North's Director of Grand Central Terminal Events, Elizabeth Rivera and her staff, and MTAPD's Jessica Rodriguez. As a team, they spent countless hours to ensure that everything was perfect for today. Without their commitment and attention to detail, this ceremony would not be possible. Now, if you could all please stand so that Reverend Dr. Alfred Correa may lead us in a closing prayer.
Let us pray. May the strength of the divine sustain us all. May the power of the divine preserve us. May the hands of the divine protect men and women who serve the MTA Police Department. May the way of the divine direct us, and may the love of the divine go with us this day, now, and forever. Go in peace and celebrate your loved ones, and know that we are proud of all who have received a promotion, a citation, and a medal. Congratulations. Amen.
The MTA Police Department proudly honors all members of law enforcement and those serving in our U.S. Armed Forces. Their sacrifice and service provide protection for us all. I would now like to invite MTA Police Officer James Volpe back to sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Officer Volpe. This concludes our program. On behalf of Chief Muller, Chairman Lieber, the MTA executive staff, and the entire MTA Police Department, I want to thank you all for attending today's ceremony. I would like to invite everyone to stay and join us for refreshments.